day 3 of my training program. So in my previous video, I went over how to integrate my Olympic weightlifting with more of my chest and back and tricep emphasis bodybuilding day. So you can actually check that out in the link below. But today's my second lower body day of the week. Monday, I started out with more of a squat, quadricep focus. So I was doing my heavy back squats, my strength progression there. I did some leg pressing and then a little more accessory work. But today's all about hamstrings, deadlifting, and really working on driving deadlift strength. So I'm in week 4 of my program. Right now I'm following like an undulating program for my main lifts, which means some weeks it's not a linear increase in intensity. So like last week I was doing 90% for lower reps. Week prior I was working like 80% for higher reps. This week I'm kind of back down that low 80%, a little more volume and stuff. So today we're gonna start out with our conventional deadlift. Gonna work probably 5s here, around 80%. Then I go to my squat. So I actually squat 3 days a week. So my second squat day of the week, so Monday was my heavy squat day, my main squat day. Today's all about volume, so I'm just gonna get some more 5s, about 80%, just working on good volume. And then I go back into much more hamstring focus. So my first day 1 of my program was all about quad focus. This is still lower body, I'm still doing some quads, but it's really about hamstring is the main emphasis. So I go back, do some good morning work, do some more accessory work. And my goal with this is I wanna show you how you can integrate it. So I'm training for Olympic weightlifting, not 100% because my goals right now are bulking. I'm trying to gain size, gain strength, gain mass. So when I'm doing that, I'm all about trying to prioritize those things. And I'm Olympic weightlifting about 2 days a week, but obviously for some people, getting stronger is gonna be the biggest thing. My technique is pretty good, so I'm just really limited by my strength capacity, so I'm putting a lot more eggs in that basket. So if you guys are interested to learn more about something like this, it's called my Look Like You Lift weightlifting program. It's a 20-week program. It takes you from your base phases, where you're working a lot of volume, a lot of movement prep, going into much more of a strength block, and then we end with a pre-competition or peaking phase. So whether you're just trying to test your maxes in the gym or whether you're trying to step on stage, it's a 20-week kind of progression there. Throughout the whole period, it has a lot of accessory work, a lot of warm-up, corrective exercises. So if you're looking to gain size and also have that aesthetic vibe of a weightlifting bodybuild type program, this is gonna be the program for you. You can check that out down below. And then real quick, if you guys have any questions, you can either ask them down below, subscribe to this channel, or you can simply contact me. I'm pretty active on Instagram at Mike J. Doer. So my handle is down below also in the links. You can check that out and let's get after it.
All right, so here we have the deadlift, and I'm just doing the conventional deadlift. In this strength cycle, I'm really working on building overall pulling strength. So even though it's Olympic weightlifting, I'm really taking more of a conventional stance here. So it's not quite a clean deadlift or clean pull. Just really working on here, loading the legs, pushing through the floor. So today was 4 sets of 5, and I'm in a week 4 here. So it's an undulated program, so sometimes I'm doing 80%, 82%, then I might jump to 90%. So it's definitely not linear in terms of increase, so kind of jumping around there. And that is my deadlift day, 4 sets of 5 at 80%.
All right, so real quick, I was using weightlifting straps here. I typically don't use straps and I go hook grip, but my thumbs have been wrecked like this past 4 weeks. So because today's kind of week 4, next week's week 5, I'm going up in intensity next week. I actually opted to use some straps on these, just on the heavy ones, just so I don't beat my thumbs up for this week's end of the week workout, which is a heavy block snatch and block cleans. So they're just kind of preserving my thumbs, but still felt really good today, happy with this.
And then after the deadlifts here, I just work some back squats. So this is obviously a big lower body quad exercise. So today was 80%, and I worked with 4 sets, anywhere between 4 to 6 reps, based on how I'm kind of feeling. It's definitely an intensity week in terms of volume. So I ended up choosing 5s. It didn't feel amazing after day 1, but it didn't feel crazy off. And so again, this is 80%, 4 sets of 5. Really working on just staying a little vertical. These actually got a little hip hingy more than usual, so I decided to stick with my 5s here. But I like doing legs 3 days a week just because I can really work on getting good quality with my squats instead of burning them all out in 1 day or 2 days. And then from here, we go into the safety bar squat, good morning. So it's a specialty bar. This one's from Rogue, but a bunch of companies make them. But I love this exercise. This has been giving me amazing feedback. So I'm really working on just a soft knee bend, really loading up the hamstrings, trying to keep my back nice and flat, taking it there. And then on the way up, trying to drive my hips and glutes, feeling that nice strong glute contraction. And this exercise, I find is just great for also developing that mid back, like in that middle back, which is somewhere I tend to collapse in squats as well as in front squats. So really working on keeping the erectors nice and strong, and then just driving the hips, making sure that my knees stay back here. And when doing like heavy hinges for hamstring strength, I really try to go, and even with size, I like to stay in that 6 to 8 rep range, training relatively heavy, just focusing on keep my back flat, feeling the hamstrings, and getting a nice good contraction at the top. So those are my big compound lifts for the day, right? It was a conventional deadlift, a back squat, and then some accessory work with the good morning. Now I'm going into much more of the aesthetic aspects. So I like to do bicep training on my leg days, just because I do triceps with my pushing, and it's not, if I was to do tricep on non-pushing days, it might impact my overhead and my bench press. So I like to do bicep here. So this was just 4 sets of incline curls. And then I supersetted with the reverse hyper. So I'll put the reverse hyper in. This is a great like decompression exercise. And I do this two different ways. The first way you can see here is I'm really like extending my entire spine from like the back of my neck all the way to my sacrum where it's meeting at the pelvis. And I'm really working on extension. So I get a lot of feedback here, a lot of muscle pump, obviously in the glutes, a little bit in the hamstrings, but more importantly, like in that mid back, right, that struggle spot. Sometimes when I like to attack the glutes, I'll also keep my chest down and just focus on just glutes and hamstrings there. But this was much more of a total extension day. So just work on 15 to 20 reps there. And then I decided to give my quadriceps a little extra love. And this is something that I'll do either like the other day on day 2, I did it with my triceps. Sometimes do it with hamstring curls, but hamstring curls tend to really rough me up. But when I do these, I'm really picking a number. So I was doing my first set, trying to use a number that's about 20 to 25 reps is where I can get, full on fatigue and get a nasty, gnarly pump. And then I'll actually take my work sets to complete failure, resting as little as needed. So sometimes I'm resting 30 seconds, sometimes 15 seconds, but trying to keep it very short rest period. I'm just trying to build up a gnarly amount of metabolic just waste and disturbance in those quads, trying to get them going and really flush those nutrients, get some good breakdown down in there. So this right here, I think total took me about 5 minutes to get to 70 reps. And I started out with a set of 20 to 25, and then really just chipped my way, going 10s, 15s, 5s. Had to kind of shake it out a couple times. So my week 1, 2, and 3 was about 60 reps, and then I decided to go 75 reps here, just to kind of progress from there, all with the same weight, and just really trying to push the fatigue in that. So this is a cool thing you can do with like machines. And real quick, I think it's important to discuss when doing this, don't overdo it, right? This is like a really cool trick we can do to just get a little extra love to a body part. So the other day I did it with triceps. Today I'm doing it with quadriceps. I may or may not do it with hamstrings. Like if my hamstrings are super debilitatingly sore, it really takes a long time to recover. So be aware of different muscle groups and kind of how that can impact things. So when I'm doing this, I also don't do it earlier in the week because I train legs multiple times a week. For example, I'm doing this on my second leg day because my first leg day was much more quad dominant and a lot of squatting. So if I was to do it Monday, I definitely would be impacted today too much, almost negatively. So I'm really doing this today because I have a much longer time to recover until next Monday's workout where I do my quads here. So just thinking about keeping tension in the muscle, both up and down, building that leg fatigue, getting after it.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you guys like this video, share it with a friend, hit the like button, subscribe, and ask me questions either in Instagram or the comments below. I'll look through them, I'll answer them. And if you're curious about the Olympic weightlifting, bodybuilding, how I do all that, check out the link below for the Look Like You Lift program. It's a 20-week weightlifting program. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you next time.